Alright guys, we're back the next day and we're gonna keep going on the fucking Subi. Today, we are gonna be taking out the front axles and starting to convert it to rear wheel drive. I can take apart the axles and keep just the part I need in the hub, which I'll show you guys once I get the whole front end torn apart. That's gonna be step one of converting it to rear wheel drive, is just getting the front axles completely out and the front axle part in the hub, so that's all done, so we don't have to worry about that. And then later on we had to pull the center diff out of the trans, out of the rear of the trans, and then weld that. And then I think there's one other part you have to do with the front diff. I don't know if you have to do anything with the front diff, otherwise I don't know if you can just leave it in there or not. So but yeah, we're gonna figure it out as we kind of go. I got some forums I've been reading. So this is my first time actually rear-wheel drive swapping a Subaru. So, but I'm ready to kind of slide it at the same time. It's gonna be slammed and you can slide it. It's gonna be rowdy. Anyways, we're gonna get right into this and make this thing rear-wheel drive. All right, so again, all we're gonna do is we're gonna pop this strut off and we're gonna pop this axle nut off right here. We're gonna pry this axle out of the hub here, and then we're going to take apart the axle, and then we're going to leave this part of the axle in the hub. We're going to have to take it all apart and put this axle stub back in, so it'll keep the axle, it'll keep the hub basically pressed together, because these bearings are just pressed together, they're not bolted in. This is a Wrx and not an STI. A lot of the 05 and up STIs are bolt-in hubs, which is nice. I would like to convert to it eventually, but it's just, you need a lot of shit to convert to it. But yeah, we're gonna get this axle torn out, and then I'll show you guys exactly what you need to do to take apart your axle to convert it. But basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna get rid of this shaft. You're gonna get rid of these boots. You're gonna take this little section right here. You're gonna get all the grease out, and then you're gonna put this piece back into your hub right here, so it doesn't separate your hub. If I cannot find caps, I'm gonna have to put these back in, but temporarily I'm gonna put these pieces back in the trans, just so it doesn't leak a bunch of fluid everywhere. So let me get that torn apart since it's fucking nasty, and I'll get right back. Okay, so axle stubs are all taken apart now. This is a messy job, so be ready for that. But I'm just gonna temporarily put this one back in the trans until I can get some actual caps. But I'm just gonna clean this out a little bit, and then same with this one. I gotta take all the bearings, because I don't want the bearings just sitting in there and collecting shit. So I'm gonna get these bearings out, then I'm gonna toss this stub back in the hub. So basically this is gonna keep the hub together just like this. So we're gonna put that back in, put the axle nut on, and then now we don't have an actual axle hitting the frame right here. You could slot it. A lot of people slot it just like the Mark IVs, but I'd rather just get rid of the axle right away since I'm already converting it to rear wheel drive. So but yeah, I'm gonna clean this out, clean this up, get this one back in, get the other side, and then once both sides are done, you can see how low it sits now. All right, so both axles are both taken out and the stubs are in on both sides, and man, that was a pain in the ass. Fucking nasty as hell. But I also put took the downpipe off real quick, but we're just gonna look to see how low it actually goes now. But I have a feeling it's gonna be hitting that wiring harness. So it is a little bit lower, but we are still hitting on some stuff. So I'm gonna pop the fenders off. There's wiring harnesses that run in the fender liners that you have to tuck up, and there's also like some frame rails that you probably have to bend up and shit. All right, fenders are off now, and as you guys can see, this wiring harness in the hood latch cable is right here, right where the tire will hit. So this is something we're gonna have to tuck up here, and then if we really want to go low, we might have to cut this for sure, this rail right here. We have to cut this for sure because this will hit the tire. But we're gonna just get the wiring harness tucked up for now on both sides. this one right here too, and we're gonna see what else is hitting. So let me get that tucked up and we'll go from there. Fender harnesses are now hung up, and what I did is I basically popped this off, indented this a little bit with a hammer just so the wiring harnesses wouldn't get cut. That way it sits there kind of freely, and then I just zip tied it up out of the way. And I did the same thing on this side. Zip tied it up, popped this off, dented it in a little bit. Kind of hard to see. Just so the wiring harness wouldn't be tight up against the frame rail and this brace right here. So now the wiring harness is out of the way. Now we're gonna lower it down and see if it is hitting anything else. Super close. It looks like it's not hitting anything. I bet it's maxing out the sway bar right now, but this side clears. This side is hitting right here. So that is gonna be an issue right there. This piece right here. And then once we get low enough, this rail rack here will be an issue. So I probably will end up cutting all this out and then welding this up. I probably will end up hammering that up and then either cutting that out or cutting it up and re-welding in some new tubs of some sort, or just pounding it up to clear enough. But as you can see, no more axles. All the stubs are in, and now the downpipe is off. So I'm gonna set up my welder. Maybe I'll build the hood stack today. What's nice is it's just a 4-bolt turbo flange. And I'm planning for it to come out right here, out the hood stack. So I would like to keep AC, so I might try and just keep this bent over a little bit. I got a weld in a bung for the hood stack. And then my wastegate dump is really close to the ground too. So I'm gonna have to angle that a little bit more. I just gotta loosen this bolt up, twist it a little bit, and then it'll clear the ground. But I was already scraping it and I wasn't even low before. And now I'm gonna hopefully be dragging frame soon enough. But she's getting there. She is getting there. I basically want to slam proof the car. So everything under the car that's gonna be an issue, I'm either gonna raise or figure out what to do to not have it cause an issue. Jesus Christ. But anyways, if the fuel tank becomes an issue, I'm gonna drop that, and then I'm gonna eventually do a fuel cell in the trunk. And then I think the thing that I'm gonna have an issue with is the diff, because the diff does sit lower than the gas tank just by a little bit. As you can kind of see, right now we're getting there. We're still pretty lifted, but we're getting there. The rears are gonna have some work, but I'm pretty sure my sway bars are all maxed out right now. And then another thing I gotta get rid of is this fucking charcoal canister bullshit. This thing's just hanging here. It's literally worthless. I'm open source tuned. All my evap codes are already deleted. All the evap stuff in the engine bay is deleted. I don't have any more solenoids or any of that bullshit. So it's pretty basic. All these are plugged, as you can see. And then there's no evap anywhere. So it's pretty basic engine bay, which is pretty nice, but it does have AC and power steering, which is what I want, because Florida summers are hot and I would like to daily this thing. So having this thing with power steering and AC would be perfect. But anyways, that's gonna be pretty much it for the day on the car. I'm gonna probably delete the charcoal canister real quick and just plug that, and I'm gonna have to pick up a filter for the one plug. So all right, so the evap charcoal canister is out now with all the bullshit. You don't even need it. All you gotta do is really unplug these two harnesses from this. Just rip this all out, and then you have this one small hose right here. You have this bigger hose right here, and this hose right here, the bigger one, is your vent. So it has like another little nipple right here that you can see, And all you're gonna do is you're gonna rip this off, throw a little like filter on here, like the little mini AutoZone little filters. I'll be getting one soon when I run the AutoZone, but right now I'm just gonna let it hang. But this one you can just cut back as far as you want, but then make sure you put like some sort of filter on this one, because this is the one that will let your gas tank actually fill up. If you plug this, then you'll have issues filling up your gas tank. Your gas tank will think it's full when it's really not. So just make sure you leave this one open. Like I said, I'm just gonna leave it open for now and it's fine. Downward angle, no water is gonna get in it. And really, you could just leave it like this. I mean, tuck it up here a little bit, but you could just leave it like that, and really, realistically, not enough water is gonna get in your gas tank to cause any issues, unless you're driving through some sort of monsoon type shit. But anyways, now we're off. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna hopefully be hood stacking this car so we can get that out of the way. Then we can get a good start up. And then from there, I'm gonna start working on rear control arms, because I've been soaking those in PB Blaster now for the last day and a half. So, and then once those all arms are in, then we can actually camber the front and then hammer up where we need to and cut where we need to. And then once everything's kind of trimmed and shit, we can take it for a test drive. After we weld the center diff, of course, because it's not going to go anywhere with the center diff not welded. I mean, it will, but it'll just fucking over rotate basically. But anyways, catch you guys in the next. Peace.